A question that has never been answered. What separates a 3.5 from a 4.0 pickleball player? Pickleball lovers, please leave your comments, please subscribe, and don't forget to have a good day. Do 3.5 players have better days than 4.0 players? Well, most people have better days than those two. Look, bone! Go get it! Go get it! The 4.0 players on the far side of the court, the 3.5 players on the near court, and that's a nice drop, right? And they're approaching the net, and then they do this. And you gotta throw the paddle. It can't be in between. You gotta throw it or you don't throw it. Joking aside, how you approach a net is a big difference between 3.5 and 4.0. They didn't approach strategically. He was moving when he was gonna hit the ball. And here's another point. Take a look. The return short, right, for 3.5 player. He's not ready. His paddle's down. He throws his paddle again, and you gotta really throw it or not. You can't really drop it. That's a 3.5 paddle drop at best. And did you notice how he hit that backhand, how he turned his wrist? That's bad technique. A 3.5 player has improved stroke mechanics, however, they can't control depth and variability. On the other hand, a 4.0 player really can control depth, variability, however, that shot selection is still questionable. They still haven't perfected it. Here is another point from the same match. Nice deep return, right, for a 3.5 player. But this is what really happens wrong when 3.5s are playing 4.0s. Too many lobs, because when there's too many lobs, you don't quite get better. Do you? I don't think so. Why? There's no dinking battles. You don't practice your speed ups. You can't even hit dead dinks. And this is why you have to play with better people. A 3.5 backhand that's still learning the mechanics, still trying to perfect it, they'll avoid if possible. A 4.0 backhand, the mechanics are there, but it is still not consistent. It's still not consistent. They still miss. So the 3.5 serves, somewhat deep, not super deep, very nice return by the 4.0, and this draws a backhand error. So 3.5s don't have the greatest backhand, the mechanics are not quite there, and they get frustrated. Here's another one, and this drop is not bad. What did he do wrong? Nothing. The partner should have been ready for that drop shot, and he wasn't. 3.5s don't quite know where that partner is on the court, they don't understand strategy, and 4.0s do. A 3.5 player should have a decent third shot. It should start to help them get to the kitchen, and that's about all they have. 4.0 players starting to mix up that third shots. They drive some, they drop some. They can really put themselves in more offensive situations. The 3.5 player has a very short return, sets up a drive by the 4.0 player, but the 4.0 player misses the fifth shot drop. When you drive the third shot, you have to be ready to drop the fifth. A 4.5 player would never miss this shot, at least according to the definition. Here's another point. Nice deep return, beautiful drop shot. Now that's a 4.0 drop, very strategic, puts him in an offensive situation. The 3.5 player has bad footwork, gets pulled off court. Bad footwork is bad technique, and you won't get better with bad technique. A 4.0 volley can handle a lot more pace. That's starting to really control the ball a lot better. However, they are still working on resetting, and they have not quite mastered everything. Why do some 3.5 players never become 4.0s, and why do some 4.0s never become 4.5s? Bad technique. Right there. Right there. Take a look how he turns that hand on that backhand. You will never become a 4.5 player with that technique. Never. Now this point is actually really good. Look, nice drop, they get in, it's a dinking battle, and the 3.5s actually have good position. Why would you lob right there? Why would you do it? Because you have them on the move, and that's a good example of how 3.5s don't quite understand strategy, because all they had to do was hit an offensive dink, have a nice speed up, and then put the ball away. Dinking, a 3.5 dinker, can sustain longer rallies, however, they can't control depth and height. They are starting to understand variations of pace, but they're not quite there. A 4.0 dinker can control the height, somewhat pace, but they do end dinking rallies too soon. They still do. This is a really good example of a 3.5 versus 4.0 dinking battle. The 3.5s are in the near court. They can't quite control the height, the depth, that hitting dead dinks. And the 4.0s are moving them around more. They're hitting more offensive dinks, and they take advantage of the point. What really happened this point? Nice offensive dink. They pull the 3.5 off the court. They get the pop-up and a beautiful backhand flick. a 3.5 player will have some strategy. They'll get to the kitchen after returning it. They'll be able to approach a net on the third shots. They'll be able to sustain somewhat of a rally. However, that's where the cookie crumbles. 4.0 player should understand strategy a lot better. They should have a basic concept of stacking. They should identify the opponent's strengths and weaknesses. That way they can target them in tournaments. And they should know where their partner is on the court at all times. Good job, 4-0. The 3-5s approach the net. They don't keep the 4-0s back. They hit a dead dink right here, and the 4-0s hit a beautiful forehand flick speed up. 3-5s don't identify dead dinks. They don't hit the speed ups at the right times. 4-0 should be able to identify a dead dink to speed it up, and that's exactly what happened this point. It's a really good example. Who picked this? 3.5 serve is consistent, however, they can't quite control the depth. A 4.0 player, along with being consistent, can control depth, placement, power, and can do a lot with the serve. Is this a good quality serve by the 4-0? I would say somewhat. It could have been harder, it could have had some more spin, but it did set up an offensive situation, and you can't miss those volleys. Before I close, I would suggest this video. This video is really good. Please click. Pickleball lovers, did I miss any differences between a 3-5 and a 4-0 player? Please leave your comments. Please subscribe. If you forget one thing in life, don't forget this: to have a good day.